guys doing? I don't care. It's almost late getting here today. Got caught in a really bad traffic jelly. That's all. It's my first time doing stand-up, like he said. Pretty nervous. It's kind of like the first time I had sex, except I'm not shit-faced, and this has lasted way longer. I'm only kidding though, I am shit-faced. I like to read, quite the reader. I recently purchased a gently used copy of The Catcher in the Rye, and I haven't started it yet, but the title leads me to believe it's about a baseball player who fucks a piece of bread. I'll be really disappointed if it's not. I like to watch movies, TV, watch a lot of TV. I have a girlfriend, she's cool or whatever, but she doesn't like to do that. She doesn't know shit about movies. And it's awesome, I get to use that to my advantage all the time. The other day we were having a fight over something insignificant I did, like leaving dishes in the sink or fucking one of her friends. And it gets to the point in the fight where like I have nothing left to say and she has like so many more arguments. So like I do what any guy does when you're like obviously losing, you know, I tell her that I love her. And she says, I swear, she goes, "You don't know what love is." And so I did what any rational person would do, you know, I hit her with the Forrest Gump line. And you know, I went full impression, I was like, "I may not be a smart man, but I know what love is." And she had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. And so then, the fight stopped being about the shit I did and started being about how she's not a real fucking person because she's never seen Forrest Gump. And then, we stopped fighting and we watched Forrest Gump. That's the best ending to a fight in the history of fights. If the battle at Little Bighorn had ended like that, Custer would have been president. It's a history joke. The presidential election, that happened or whatever. And you might not remember, because the presidential election's a lot like the Olympics. Happens every 4 years. For like 2 weeks, people pretend they care and that they're experts and they change their Facebook statuses. I don't see the point in watching either the presidential election or the Olympics. I mean, you already know the black guy's gonna win. I'm just kidding though. Barack Obama's not black. He's our first beige president. Barack Obama's so white, Wayne Brady kicked his ass for saying the N-word. Bill Clinton was our first black president. Played saxophone and fucked thick white chicks. I used to fuck this one girl. I don't have a story about it. I'm just bragging. So I went to the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum the other day. That was okay, I guess. I have a couple bones to pick with the establishment they're running over there in Gatlinburg. Bone number 1 that needs picking. It's grammatically incorrect. It should be Ripley's Believe It or Don't. It's not like, "Johnny, what'd you think of the bearded lady?" He's like, "I not believe it." I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Get your shit together, Ripley. It should be Believe It or Don't. Bone number 2. They tell you this crazy thing, or like they show you this crazy thing, and then they give you all this evidence to prove that it happened. So like, unless you're dumb as fuck, you have to believe it. And that's why like, if I ever had a museum, Nic's Believe It or Don'ts, it would only be shit that could be argued either way. Like that you could have like a pretty good argument either for or against it. You know, shit like Bigfoot, or like the Loch Ness Monster, or like the Holocaust. You know, stuff that could go either way. Oh fuck, I left the notebook over there. Whatever, I won't do that. My parents, they got divorced when I was younger, which is, you know, whatever, it happens. And but they made the really ballsy decision to take me to a Pizza Hut to do it. And it's like a really confusing thing because like on one hand I'm like sad because it's like, oh, my parents' marriage is over, like, oh no, my life. And then like on the other hand, they had just started making the pizza with like the cheese in the crust, and that's like really awesome. So I mean that's like a really big emotional like range for a 6-year-old. And so they finish with the spiel and telling us about, like, oh, we love you, we'll still see you, and shit. And my sister looks up from her pizza and she's like cutting it with a fork and knife. She's a fucking weirdo. And she's like, Mommy, was it something I did? And my mom's like, oh no, sweetie, we love you so much. It was nothing you did. Like, don't think that, don't say that, we love you so much. And then like I look up, eating my pizza like a normal fucking person. And I'm like, Mom, was it something I did? And she goes, shut the fuck up and eat your pizza. Oh, that's sad. Religion's weird, right? Religion's weird, right? I guess. 70% of Americans can believe in an all-powerful God who sent his only son down to do magic tricks. Yet they can't believe it's not butter. That's been 5 minutes. All right.